Hello, hello, hello! So, we've finally got some new Divine Event news! We've got 2 new Divines, which have technically been revealed, and we have the new Divine Altar that has been explained to us as this image here sort of obviously shows. And in this chest we've got Chrono Erlang Shen's egg, and we've got the egg of what looks like a new dragon. And I'm not sure if this dragon is for one of the other 2 new dragons that they've named, or a different one. But essentially we have 2 new dragons coming in the form of Longwang, which yes, is a very funny name, I know, and FREYR. Not Freya, but FREYR, as in not the existing Freyr. Anyway, if we come back, there is this entire post that goes through this new Divine Altar, and it does kind of sound like they have DC'd DML. Dragon City'd DML. Whether it'll be a good thing or not, we'll have to see. But you know, like I've said before, in my own game, I'm looking forward to getting Divines, and Chang and Frigg are returning, which are 2 Divines that I don't actually have. So I would be happy to get both of those. So I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit more as we go through this. So Nessie posted this starting next week on April the 12th. We'll be hosting the first ever Divine Fest, a special occasion for Divine Dragons to take a break from their hard work keeping Dragonlandia safe from the ever-present threat of the tyrants, let their hair down, and of course take part in some fun games. We'll be releasing more about this event over the coming days, but first we wanted to talk about a new feature that we're introducing into the Divine events, the Divine Altar, which is obviously this thing that we can see in the screenshot. While a lot of the Divine event will remain familiar to long-term players, I don't like that, the new Divine Altar will provide a new way of approaching the event. So this is the DC'd bit. First we need to talk about the Divine chests. You'll still collect Divine tickets throughout the event as you typically would, but this time when you open a Divine chest, you won't collect pieces of Divine Dragons. None at all. Each Divine chest contains 2 items, 1 random reward and a random amount of holy talismans. Those random rewards include the usual prizes that can be found inside Divine chests, such as an event decoration, food, gold, or parts for a rare, epic, or legendary. But every single chest will contain some amount of holy talismans. What this does mean is that existing pieces of dragons seemingly won't count for anything. Well, that's what it's reading like, but unless they give specific deals in the shop, so say you're like 5 pieces away from getting a different divine, that would kind of screw people over if they didn't give a way to do that. But anyway, these holy talismans are a new form of currency that can be spent at the Divine Altar, and it's here that you'll be able to collect parts for the event's Divine Dragons. There will be 4 dragons available within the Divine Altar, 2 new and 2 returning dragons, which are Cheng, Longwang, frigg, FREYR. Sorry, I need to really pronounce the FREYR so that we don't get confused here. It's like the Fool, the Emperor, and Longwang. I love the name Longwang. I get what Longwang is, but I'm never going to get over the name. I'm sorry, I'm a child. This way players can decide exactly how to spend their holy talismans. Newer players can choose which dragon they'd like to unlock the most and focus on that, while players who have participated in the original Chinese and Northern Divine events are free to purchase only the parts that they are missing, and no more. Which, that's all of them for me, if they don't want. You won't have to collect any additional Divine Dragon parts if you don't want them, so the decision of how to spend your holy talismans is completely down to you. On top of this, parts for Chrono Erlang Shen will also be available within the Divine Altar, though this will only be unlocked if you purchase the event's talisman generator, which will generate holy talismans throughout the event, as well as unlock the bonus rewards within the event milestone. So that's basically the shrine from the previous events, but it does have a divine in it, which is okay, sort of like when Hades came back. And we're excited to give players a little more control over how divine events can be played, and we're looking forward to seeing what you think of this brand new feature. Okay, so that's a lot of reading, and it is quite a big change that there's not going to be specific pieces but holy talismans, because that's like the orbs from DC, and they say that that means that we'll be able to choose which ones that we want to go for. And my only concern becomes that what if they only give us enough time or event currency to go for 1 or 2 of them, but not all of them? Because obviously it's possible to get all of them in the existing Divine and Ancient events, but, you know, what if they've changed it so that we don't get enough talismans for all of them? Unless there's a way to buy extra, which they almost definitely will. But, you know, if there is a dragon like Longwang, which I'm probably gonna want, because Longwang, if I really wanted Longwang, I guess I could go for him specifically. But it is quite a big set of changes. And again, for anyone confused about what Longwang and FREYR are, I have done a quick Google search because, you know, I'm an elite internet browser user. And it does say that Longwang is the Dragon King. In Chinese mythology, Longwang is a guardian deity who can control all dragons, the creatures in the sea, the oceans, and the weather. Although he has a temper, Longwang is seen as a symbol of good fortune and the mythological embodiment of the concept of yang. He is most popular among Chinese coastal communities. I mean, he sounds like a divine, not a divine, but like a super ancient to me, if he can control all dragons and all creatures of the sea and everything. But anyway, that is Longwang. So it's not just a new game Loft Dragon, it is an existing concept. And then FREYR is the same thing. FREYR, pronounced FREYR, Old Norse Freyr, Lord, sometimes anglicised as Frey, is a god who belongs to the Vanir tribe of deities. He's also an honorary member of the other tribe of Norse gods, the Aesir, having arrived in their fortress Asgard as a hostage at the closing of the Aesir-Vanir War. So it's a name that probably people that are familiar with, you know, some old mythology stuff probably recognise FREYR. Longwang may be a different one because I feel like lots of Western folks aren't as invested into sort of Chinese mythology, but I kind of still like them. But at the same time, you know, they are new dragons, too new, too old. So we could speculate as to how they're going to be released. They did say that the Divine event will remain familiar to long-term players, which... they said it was going to be new. They said a new series of Divine events. That doesn't sound new to me. That sounds like the exact same event, just with a different earning method. That's what it sounds like. Not gonna lie. Like, I thought that we were actually, from what they said, it sounded like we were getting new events, and they said that we were. I don't know. Unless there are some that they haven't announced to us yet. But like I was saying, the concern for me is that if there's no other way to exchange, say, you know, the pieces or the holy talismans for pieces, like, I'm quite close to Chang. So if they don't give a way to actually get these remaining pieces, these divines are just going to sit in here at 95 out of 120, 97 out of 120, 96 out of 120. Actually, that was sort of a pattern, wasn't it? It was all the exact same numbers. That's roughly where we ended up every single time. Well, at least I'm consistent, right? Consistent at not getting them. But, you know, considering we've got frigg, I did not get many pieces of frigg, so if we can get frigg for free, that would be great. Chang'e, obviously, as well. But Longwang and FREYR are going to be the new guys to try and get. So I don't know how excited or not excited that makes you, and for me, I'm more just puzzled as to how exactly they're going to implement it. Because, again, it's if they're just removing the pieces but giving them in the holy talisman box, for the existing dragons it just feels like we'd have to start again unless there's another way for them to give us pieces. You know, we've got the new whale mart, which we're still waiting to be released. You know, the white whale mart's hot sister. I'm still waiting for her because it's got a new actual NPC and a new hot female whale. Okay, I'm not a furry. I'm just saying it for the sake of it. That's how I differentiate between the two whale marts. But they implemented that, or they released it in an update a long time ago, but never actually released anything with it. So, where's she at? Where's she at? Is she going to be coming for this new divine event stuff or divine fest stuff. I don't know. I kind of just wanted to do some of my sigil fights, so don't mind me. But I'm intrigued, and I want to know which god that boar egg belongs to, because it could be an existing one, but there are lots of different, well, yeah, gods and certain, I almost said characters, but let's just say parts of mythology with people that have lots relating to boars. There's a Celtic god. I believe that there is a Chinese one as well. You know, there's lots of stuff for lots of things, but I'm interested to see if that boar egg is either for the new Chinese dragon, or it's for a different one entirely, because otherwise why would they use that as the poster image? But, you know, it'll all get confirmed soon. The 12th, it was the 12th, right? Yes, April 12th. It's not very far away. So, it's the 5th now, which means it is next Monday. So we've got exactly 1 week to wait, and that does mean that essentially you've got a week to collect food, get everything prepped, get your team, ideally, if you can, get your team mostly even, just in case we get a divine castle, because, you know, we just had a castle, but we could get another one, or we could get a different set of divine events, and in that case, you probably want to keep your dragons even, because, you know, this is one of those situations where it's like, yes, having 1 or 2 high-level dragons is ideal, but if you're someone that can even out the levels of your dragons just before the event, highly recommend you do it. And then if you are going to level up, then do it during the event. Doesn't mean don't do it ever. Ah, I should have done that clan quest pants. But I'm just giving you tips for what to do to try and maximize your chances during the event. So, I guess good luck. But at the same time, I do want the full event details before I make any proper assumptions on it. It does sound like a good idea in theory, allowing us to be able to choose a specific dragon that we want, but again, it's going to come down to implementation, how exactly they implement it, because that's the make or break. It doesn't sound like a bad idea, but the implementation could be awful. So let's hope the holy talisman amounts given are, especially since it's the first iteration, are more I guess kind than they normally would be, a little bit overly generous, because there's nothing worse than implementing a new event and nobody gets anything from it. Remember original First Fire ancient event, how that was the easiest ancient event and then all that they've done since is nerf it? Can't you just be like, okay, let's test this concept, let's see it, let everyone, you know, be relatively successful if they put in the effort. Can we not have that? You know, again, I don't know how it's been balanced. Nobody will know until the events come out. But that's my only hope and main pray. I pray to Longwang. I will pray for Longwang forever if I need to. But, you know, that's the new news. So, for anyone that was interested, yes, new divines are 100,000,000% confirmed, because even though I've been saying to people, they're coming, they are coming, we know that divine events are coming, people are like, ooh, we think divine events are coming. No, they are. The official forum is saying it. It's not me talking crap, it's actually coming from Gameloft's mouth for a change, not me. If it was an actual assumption, I would say, look, I'm assuming that we're going to get this event, which is what I did a while ago. I'm not assuming this time. It's written in black and white. They're coming. So don't, like, you know, don't be the day before the divine events coming out and be like, well, is it confirmed yet? Because then you're not going to be prepared for the event. Maybe you've thrown in like 2-day timer food. You'll feel like a fool. Don't do that. You know, we know it's coming. Just prepare yourself. We've got the information in advance, which is something that we didn't get for the previous ancient event. That was, the last ancient event pretty much was just thrown out of nowhere with no teasing or anything. It was just like, you want some ancients? Yeah, they're coming tomorrow. Cool. Very cool. but I think people do appreciate at least a little bit of prep time, because, you know, you might be trying to breed at the moment for the full dragon. Actually, I still need to hatch him. But you might be breeding for the full dragon, you might be breeding for other stuff, and you might be like, oh, I didn't want an event in 2 days. Well, now, got a week, so I work on the full for now, because when the event's on, we don't know how much our breeding dens are going to be clogged. So try and get the full quickly, just rebreed. That's if you're not going for citrine, obviously. But, you know, I wanted to make sure that we were all aware and up to speed on what is happening in DML. So, make sure you check out the forum thread yourself if there's anything that you were confused about. Pretty simple to me. We've got a new shrine that gives chrono, erlang, shen, and we've got new holy talismans. So, make or break is how balanced the earning rate for these holy talismans are. But anyway, for now, I appreciate you being here. Look forward to the new event, and may your wang be long.